Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to another meta guide. We are in the Open Ultra League. So the Open Ultra League as well as the Ultra League Premier Classic begin tomorrow. We're going to be having another meta guide for the Ultra League Premier Classic, but today we're talking about the Open Ultra League, so XL City for the most part. There's some Pokemon, of course, that don't need to be XL'd. But either way, why don't we go ahead and jump right into it and see what we got going on for us. So, for the S rank, we're going to have Registeel, definitely going to be the best Pokemon in the meta. I don't have a good one. I really do want to get a good one. I have I think a 98 that I built before XLs was a thing, and it's best buddied. I could use it. It's still really good. It doesn't have Zap Cannon, but that's why I personally haven't been using Registeel. I really want to get a good one. I don't even have enough XLs anyway, so I can't right now. I need to wait for it to come back. But anyway, it's a great Pokemon, Zap Cannon, Focus Blast. It's probably always going to be good, right? It's going to always be on the top, unless if they significantly nerf it again, which they might. But either way, next up we have Pidgeot. So Pidgeot, yes, it's actually a really, really strong Pokemon with Wing Attack. So yeah, it had Gust. Now it wants Wing Attack. So Wing Attack obviously gets to the moves really fast. I mean, Feather Dance, Brave Bird, it's really, really highly ranked. As long as it's not going up against a Steel type like Registeel, it's looking pretty good. You want a Hundo, you want it best buddied. I personally am lucky enough to have one. So great Pokemon. Pidgeys are spawning during the season a lot, at least in my area. I don't know if they're spawning where you are, but try to get those Pidgeys. Try to get a good one because it's a really, really strong Pokemon. But you do have to elite fast TM it because Wing Attack is a legacy move. So is Gust, but you want Wing Attack. Then we have Cobalion. Cobalion is a great Pokemon with Double Kick, Sacred Sword, Stone Edge. Great Pokemon. Ever since it got that Double Kick last season, yep, it's been terrorizing the Ultra League. Then we have Giratina, a non-XL Pokemon. Giratina is a great one. A few non-XL Pokemon we're going to talk about, but Giratina is a great one. It's good with Dragon Breath and Shadow Claw, whichever move you prefer. Yeah, great Pokemon. Giratina, really strong. It's just so tanky, right? I mean, it doesn't do a lot of damage, I guess, but it really is tanky. Then we have Gliscor, a Shadow Gliscor. Gliscor now has Wing Attack. Yes, it really has Wing Attack, so it's... Well, I guess it always had Wing Attack, but because Wing Attack was buffed, you know, it's going to be getting to those moves faster, right? So, getting to the Night Slash, getting to the Earthquake. Yep, I think Shadow Gliscor is going to be really solid. And again, another non-XL Pokemon, I believe. I mean, I have one at 24.98. I don't think I XL'd it, so I'm pretty sure it's a non-XL Pokemon. Then we have Swampert, which is definitely non-XL. Swampert has always been good. Hydro Cannon is really strong, so it's a great Pokemon. Shadow Swampert, regular Swampert, both of them are really good. You guys know that. Then we're going to move on to the A rank, and we do have Trevenant. Now, Trevenant is still going to be really strong, but it does have to watch out, obviously, for the normal flyers like Pidgeot, right? Even Gliscor is dishing out super effective damage with the Wing Attack and Night Slash. Even Charizard with Wing Attack, right? So, which I guess it had to watch out for Charizard anyway. But, you know, it does have to watch out for that. But as long as it can avoid the Pidgeot, it's looking pretty good, I think. Then we have Steelix. Steelix, of course, got Psychic Fangs last season with Dragon Tail, really strong Pokemon. It does want to be XL'd, but it's a really good one if you happen to have one. We need an Onyx Spotlight Hour again because I need to get XLs for this. But then we're moving on to Cresselia. Cresselia is great. Now, you could go a couple different move sets. You have the Moonblast and Grass Knot, which is what you think when you think of Cresselia. But the thing is, if you go with that moveset, Talonflame walls Cresselia. So a lot of trainers do run Future Sight. It really depends if you want to go Future Sight and Moonblast. I kind of like that moveset in the Ultra League, but of course Grass Knot's going to do well against the Swampert, but I guess Moonblast would still do a lot against Swampert anyway. But either way, yeah, great Pokemon. Then we have Virizion, another Pokemon with Double Kick. So Double Kick, Sacred Sword. Could go Leaf Blade, could go Stone Edge. Honestly, I've been seeing more Stone Edge, I think, last season. Just so it could... I think, you know what? I think we'll see even more Stone Edge now because of the Flyer. So I think Stone Edge honestly makes sense. And even if you go up against Swampert, you're still resisting the Hydro Cannons. You resist the Earthquake. So you still have a good matchup. So you really don't need that Leaf Blade. I think Stone Edge is probably the way to go. Then we have Charizard, of course, with Wing Attack. Now, it is a legacy move. Keep that in mind. But Charizard is a great Pokemon with Wing Attack. Definitely want it. So I think it is worth an Elite Fast TM, to be honest. And I would probably invest in one if you have a good IV one. But definitely worth it. Then we have Scrafty. Of course, Scrafty is really bulky, XL'd. We all know Scrafty. It's a great, definitely the best fighter, in my opinion, in the Ultra League. Then for the B rank, we do have Regirock. So Regirock, another good one we've seen obviously previous seasons. It's a good Pokemon. Guzzlord is kind of like a newcomer, right? It does have Dragon Tail, it does have Brutal Swing, it has Crunch. It's a good Pokemon. It's a good Pokemon. It does have to watch out for Charm users. Charm was nerfed, but you're still gonna see it. It does have to watch out for fighters, but it still is a pretty good Pokemon. Then we have Obstagoon, another counter user. A little bit under Scrafty in my opinion, but it's still good Pokemon. Then we have Galarian Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk in the Ultra League is really, really, really thick. It really is. So, great Pokemon. We have a newcomer. We have Aurorus. So, Aurorus with Weather Ball and... Powder Snow Weather Ball, right? Powder Snow Weather Ball, but it also gets Meteor Beam this season. So, Meteor Beam actually does a lot of damage. I think Aurorus really needed Meteor Beam to help it shine, and I think it is really, really good. Yeah, especially with the flyers, right? If you're seeing a lot of Pidgeot, even Charizard, you're seeing Charizard, I mean, Meteor Beam would KO a Charizard easy, but, or you could bait with Weather Ball, you get the point, but I mean, Weather Ball gets the Pidgeot, even if you happen to see Noctowl, which I guess could be a thing, it's not as good as Pidgeot, but still good. But yeah, Meteor Beam, Aurorus, I think is really, really solid. Then we have Tapu Fini. I don't have a good one for Ultra League, by the way, Aurorus. I really wish I did. I do have a good one for the Great League, though. Then we have Tapu Fini, which is another good Pokemon, a good Water Gun user. Water Gun, Surf, Moonblast. So that's going to be the S, A, and B tier for you. We're going to go ahead and move on to the other options. So we have Double, another Double Kick Body Slam user. So Double Kick, of course, it's a pretty good Pokemon. I'm sure you'll see it. Another Ice type, Abomasnow. And I do think Abomasnow could be pretty good. It hasn't been seen as much, I don't think, but with all the flyers, I think Abomasnow might make a comeback. You are weak to flying, so keep that in mind. But you're also getting to those weather balls fast. I think Aurorus is better though, but still pretty good. Then we have Talonflame. Talonflame going to be solid. There might be some other flyers like Pidgeot and Charizard that creep above it, but I still think Talonflame is a good Pokemon. We have another dragon similar to the Guzzlord. We have Dragonite. Dragonite, of course, has Superpower and Dragon Claw. It also has Dragon Tail or Dragon Breath. Then we have Pelipper. Pelipper is interesting because Pelipper, obviously, it got a buff with the Wing Attack, and it gets to the Weather Ball and Hurricane faster, but it is really frail in the Ultra League. It's frail in the Great League as well, but really frail in the Ultra League compared to some of the other Pokemon, so I don't think it's going to be used as much as the other flyers like Pidgeot and Charizard, but I do think it has play. You do want a Hundo, you do want it best buddied, so yeah, I think Pidgeot could definitely see some play, and honestly, I might try it out, to be honest. I might try it out. Then we have Wolverine. So Wolverine was nerfed last season, but with all the flyers, honestly, I think Wolverine can make a comeback. It was still used last season in the Ultra League, but I definitely think it can make a comeback and be really, really strong this season. Then we have Miltank. I like Miltank with Tackle. It has rollout and Tackle, but Tackle, of course, received a buff last season, so I think it's a pretty interesting Pokemon. We have another Dragon kommo-o, so another Dragon Tail user. Maybe you want to go Double Dragon or something, could be interesting. Considering Charm was nerfed, we might not see as much Charm. I still think we'll see it, but maybe not as much. Double Dragon could be a thing. And we have Mandibuzz. So, of course, Mandibuzz is really tanky. Same with the Umbreon. We have Umbreon and Mandibuzz in this list, both really tanky. Again, with Charm nerfed, they might see more play. They saw play past several seasons, but they might see more play now because of Charm being nerfed. They just got that much better, right? Then Drapion, of course, or Shadow Drapion, I think is a great Pokemon. I've used Shadow Drapion to hit Legend a couple seasons ago, so really, really strong Pokemon. Then we have a Charm user, Alolan Ninetales. So if you are going with the Charm user, I think Alolan Ninetales is probably the best one, but it is an XL one. But anyway, that's going to be the Ultra League for you. Let's go ahead and jump right into the solid team options. So, the first team is going to be Pidgeot, Cobalion, and Virizion, and I believe Housestock made and used this team last season, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. But I think it's even better now because Pidgeot has Wing Attack. Obviously, last season was Gust. I mean, it had Wing Attack last season as well, but Wing Attack was buffed this season. So, yeah, really strong team. I think it's going to be a great team. Of course, Pidgeot not really liking the Steel types, but with the double kick users in the back, they're going to be doing well against the Steel types like the Registeel. It could do well against Galarian Stunfisk. With the Sacred Sword as well, it gets to it pretty fast. Then we have another team. This is the team I hit Legend with a couple seasons ago. We do have Shadow Drapion. I used Aqua Tail for I don't think you're going to see Nidoqueen, but for Nidoqueen for Talonflame, you were able to win those matchups. And obviously Crunch, going to be doing well against the Giratina, Trevenant, and other Pokemon. And then Giratina and the Alola Ninetales. Of course, the Alola Ninetales was nerfed. I still think it's good though. I do think it's good. Even though it was nerfed, it wasn't nerfed significantly. It was nerfed minor. It was minor, very minor. But it was nerfed, so you probably see less of it. But no, I mean the point of this team is to try and win Switch at all costs if you're able to, even if you have to invest a shield or two to win Switch and then RPS the backline. It worked out well for me even last season. A couple seasons ago, as I said, I hit Legend with this team. I did really well with it, so I do think it still has a lot of play. Even though the charm was nerfed. And then the next team, my brother actually doesn't really have many XL Pokemon at all, so he's been using this team for multiple seasons, and it's been going well for him. Cresselia, Swampert, Giratina. Now, Cresselia is interesting because, as I mentioned earlier, if you go up against a Talonflame or even Charizard now, if you're running Grass Knot and Moonblast, you're going to be walled by those two. But if you have Future Sight, at least it can hit the Talonflame and hit the Charizard, right, for neutral damage. So I think Moonblast, Future Sight may be the way to go. Grass Knot, as I mentioned, is good for Swampert, but you're still doing okay against Swampert with the Moonblast and the Future Sight, right? And plus, if they lead the Swampert and you see you have Cresselia, they're probably going to switch out anyway. So yeah, I think that's the moveset I like. But of course, Swampert and Giratina is really powerful. So non-XL team, if you're looking for a strong, it's still expensive, right? You need 100k for a second move. I get it, but a good team nonetheless. Then we have a double flyer team, a double wing attack team. I do a Pidgeot and Charizard in the back with Scrafty in the lead. So of course the back line not really going to appreciate, well, Steel. I guess Charizard does okay against Steel because of Blast Burn. Yes, wing attack is resisted. But then you have Scrafty in the lead, with Scrafty is going to do well against the Steel types. Rock types are strong, like Registeel against the back line, but Scrafty is going to be able to counter and power a punch through it. So you can lure it out with one of the Pokemon in the back, probably the Charizard, because if they happen to bring in a Steel type, Charizard at least has play against it with Blast Burn, unlike Pidgeot. But again, both of these wing attack users are legacy, so you do have to elite fast TM wing attack onto both of them. So keep that in mind. Then we have another double team. It's gonna be double ice with Wolverine and Aurorus. With the popularity of flyers, I think this double ice team could work really well, right? I mean, you're gonna be doing a lot to Pidgeot. If you see Pidgeot, really don't have to worry about it with the back line. Honestly, even against the, like Charizard the Talonflame, right? You're taking neutral damage, but you're dishing out neutral as well, and you're getting to the moves so fast. I mean, you still get to the moves fast with Wolverine. I still think Wolverine is really good. Aurora's obviously really good now, so, and of course, the backline not really gonna like fighting, but that's why you have Shadow Gliscor in the lead. Of course, with wing attack, gonna be doing well against the fighting types. If you're going up against a Steel type, you do have the Earthquake and Gliscor. And I mean, to be fair, Wolverine has Earthquake as well, so I think it could be an interesting team to look at. And the final team, we do have a double Steel team with Galarian, Stunfisk, and Steelix in the back. Of course, the back line does not like fighting, so Pidgeot is there to help with that, right? So you could lure it out maybe with one of those Pokemon, maybe with the Steelix, maybe lure out a possible fighting type, and you're still doing neutral damage, right? With the Dragon Tail. And I guess Swampert is tough for this team because you really don't have a direct answer to it. Pidgeot is okay against it, but obviously the backline doesn't like Swampert. But Dragon Tail, as I said, still doing a lot, even to the Swampert, and the Psychic Fangs is going to debuff it, so you can still chip away at it. But either way, these are going to be the solid team options for you. Let me know what team you plan on going with. Also, let me know if you plan on playing in the Ultra League or the Ultra League Premier Classic, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.